Hey Virgos, this is Damien with HK Readings Healing Culture Tarot, and I'm here to do y'all's mid to end June 2019 general love reading. Of course, this is for Virgo's Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and or Jupiter. If you have Virgo in any of those placements in your chart, stay tuned. Got a really interesting story for you. Now, when I was premeditating, the vibes I got from you, Virgo, were kind of like basically at the point of not really, not trying to think about love, but just not trying to think about old love. I think that's been a focus for you. And I see where it comes up now that the cards have been drawn and I meditated on these. Crowning, you have the Earth, the card of Instinct, and the Goddess Guidance card, Yamanya. Important doors are opening for you right now. Walk through them. Essentially, what I'm gathering from the cards, gathering in this reading, is that you're finally out of a period, a seemingly long drawn out period of feeling restraint and constriction mentally, emotionally, all of those realms within, and it translated externally into what you felt limited to in your world, in your surroundings. You've come out of that. You are now, and it's not like, oh, you're almost at the end, you almost feel like you are solid now. And now that you are solid within these newfound freedoms that you have, the freedom to express yourself, the willingness to take new opportunities, the willingness to be vulnerable. Now vulnerability. That level of vulnerability that you are understanding that you have to embody, be it because of the word exactly, you have to make sure that your surroundings, because this Earth card is also talking about your surroundings, also make sure that your surroundings are sound as you make this transition, a very sensitive transition if you think about it, like from the caterpillar to the butterfly, very sensitive. Make sure that your surroundings are set to where, there's nothing that will have you triggered, even mentally, to look back or think back or feel back on a past situation. The card of Instinct talks about the wolf who's climbing the mountain and, reaches the top, but it's because, they continue to trek. And the one thing that they do not do is look down or look back. Because therein lies, the notion of how high you are up and that you may fall. And there's also the other aspect of where, like, if there's enemies behind you, you waste 1 second turning back and looking to see where they are. That's a second that could have been spent, with you moving forward. So it's really just about the forward track, the forward motion, believing that everything that you're doing is working out beautifully. All of the opportunities that you are seizing are the ones that were meant for you, and that it's safe to take, and that there's no reason to look back, okay? Now, when we get down further, this is a combination of all my decks except for the Sibylla here. We have the Five of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. This, actually, and this is why I say I feel like I understand kind of why, there may be remnants of this person coming up. They are feeling as though something has been taken from them. This is the energy of someone who feels injustice, okay? Five of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. This is someone who feels injustice. This is someone who just feels like you're being torn away from them, and there's actually nothing they can do. You see the god here throwing Alice out. And in the Knight of Wands, there's like this foolishness, this foolishness in thought, the thought process that they have, because they feel as though they have gotten to a point where, you know how you work through so much with somebody and it's almost at the end and you can just see the bright light and, you know, you're almost there. Like, they still feel like there's a chance. They feel like y'all are just getting to the end of something to have something new, okay? They don't understand that you are literally at the end of it, Virgo. Does that make sense? Like, you're done. Because you're coming up here as the Three of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. Yes, and when we have the Three of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, it talks about this situation tragically being done. The card that came out to clarify the mutual energies here was the Death card. So like I said, this is, oh wow, this is just like tragically donezo. And when you see how the hand is extending the pentacle out here, what you have is essentially the idea of you giving your pentacle to something else and to someone else, okay? We're going to get to the someone in a minute, but definitely to other things, okay? Virgo, you're not just going to put all your eggs in one basket, especially after the situation you just got out of. Ain't no more eggs going in one basket, especially when we're talking about the egg of the pentacle, okay? Because you and your security and your foundation and your structure and you having everything the way you like it and how you need it to be, that's what you're focused on right now. So as we go into who you're giving your pentacle to, trust me, they are on the same page with what you have going on, okay? And they understand that you are going to be dedicated to work, dedicated to your service, and your humanitarian nature, your philanthropic nature, like how you give and taking care of your community, they're going to be on the same page. You're going to attract someone who was like the complete opposite of what you dealt with. And it's not going to make you swoon over them like, oh my God, now I can finally just fall head over heels for someone. Because you know how, like, and that would be our mistake in the past, right? As humans, you know, the moment we see that person is better than the next, we just put our all into it and we forget about us. You're not doing that anymore. You're going to peep game and you're going to say word, okay. So the only thing that could stop us from doing this right now is, you know, I lay out what I have going on in my life, and if you can't get with it, if we can't make this work, then, you know, you will politely be like, hey, this is what it is. I apologize. So, yeah, you're definitely attracting someone on your level who y'all are just going to, like, mutually bend to make this work, or else it's not going to work, and you have no problem dropping it. So that's one beautiful thing that I see. But to get back to the fact that this person that you were dealing with before feels just so removed from the situation, like, I think they didn't understand that you had such a high level of strength, okay? Because in the times before where y'all would interact, it wasn't completely done, Virgo. You would still come back around to this person. You may still see this person. You may still sleep with this person. And in those moments, like, you may have allowed yourself to entertain the notion of something growing from it. And they would see that. They would kind of see that they could get your wheels spinning. Not really them. They would take credit for it. It would be, you know, it'd be like you still have feelings for them, so you entertain it. They may feel like how they were in those moments really drew that out. And, you know, that's the weird thing about it. It's like, it is. Them in their moments, in those moments doing those cute little nothings, like, may have drawn it out, but it was you within your own, you know, mind, creating this own image of something that will never be. And you finally just stuck with it. It was just like, yeah, I know that this is gonna be, you know, never gonna be anything. But they still feel as though, and I feel like they're the ones who are, you know, doing the chase, as I speak of, like, you know, the enemy's chasing within the story of the Instant card. This is a person who is still feeling like you are theirs. And with the Five of Pentacles, their property, okay? And with the Nine of Wands and this defensive nature, you know, there's also another side of this card to someone who is willing to fight. Now, with no resources, I really don't know how much they can do. But you know how crazy folks are. I do see some warning in these cards, okay? I do see some warning in these cards. Just to watch out for this individual who's having to cope with the fact that a situation is done, and be aware and witness and watch and know that you are not just evolved and taking care of yourself and very responsible and coming across as very centered and balanced and beautiful. It's holding out a pinnacle to this here still shows, even though it's the ace, there's still a level of balance and beauty that comes when this object and the pinnacle are next to one another. So they're seeing all of that within you, like this beautiful, balanced creature who, because they might not know just how much they've hurt you. You might think you let them know, and they might think they have an idea, but they really don't. So that's why it's hard for them to understand how you're coming across this way, and things just not affecting you anymore, things just not mattering to you anymore, you're not caring to reach out to them anymore, so on and so forth. And you also able to, you know, turn around and give your pinnacle to someone else, your all, okay? They don't understand that. So as it translates to you giving to yourself and becoming this balanced being, let's talk about how this pinnacle translates to being given away. So at the top here we have the Ten of Cups reversed, because you see, you know, everything ties in. They say fire pushes water, water pushes earth, so on and so forth. So how do you get a pinnacle to shift and be given away to someone else? Fuck with them emotions, okay? So we've got the Ten of Cups in reverse here. Something that was at a point seen as very fulfilling, or at least the ideal was still strong in your mind to where you could still entertain the bullshit on a very high vibrational level, you know, of something that could still work. You know, those days where you still just thought it could work. Like, you know, there once was a time for all that, and now it's gone. And when the love is gone, you can pack up and move on. Water moving earth, you know? But not only does it represent you, Virgo, it's representing how they are adversely coming up, because we have the Charmer in reverse and we have the Princess of Disc in reverse. So you see somebody who's still trying to manifest these little fucking, excuse my French, I'm really just feeling y'all's energy right now. Like they're really trying to manifest these petty ass new beginnings, these lies. I see it as just like there's a level of manipulation, you know, the way I'm reading the Charmer in reverse with the Princess of Disc in reverse, who in traditional tarot translates to the Magician in reverse and the Princess of Pentacles. But yeah, somebody's world is upside down and they are completely heartbroken, and it's more so than just their, you know, emotions that are very hurt, like the pain that they feel inside. It's also that they are noticing that from slowly but surely to just very, very fast, their foundation is crumbling. You know, everything that they felt that they had built structurally with you, it crumbles so fast right before their eyes that they're struggling and scraggling to, you know, try to figure out how to get a new beginning with you, how to get you to stay, how to fucking manifest something new that it's coming across as just like no big deal, like nothing important. They're not able to give you anything substantial. They're not able to contribute an offer to reflect the fact that they've changed, because they haven't had enough time. By the time you said fuck it and out, they hadn't had enough time in the matter of moments to change. They hadn't had enough time to formulate a plan in a matter of moments. So they can't even give you anything substantial even if they wanted to. This is something that they would still have to build up to if they wanted to try to come back into your life. However, when we get down here, we have the Malika of Wands in reverse, the Three of Swords, the Malik of Disc in the upright and the Ace of Cups, it furthermore talks about how you have literally taken, because, all right, look, the Ace of Pentacles in this deck and the Malik of Disc, which is the King of Pentacles in the Tower of the Moors. This is the energy of the person that you are deciding to build anew with, okay? This is the energy that's coming in because, and, you know, and then where we have the Ten of Cups here, which again, seems like it's a very sad moment. Some things that you thought would, again, and I said it through illusion, because I feel as though that the Ten of Cups is a very positive card, but when you see in comparison to what you can have come up in a reading, which is why that's in reverse over there, the Ten of Cups in reverse, you've got the Ace of Cups here, is because, you know, this is a type of situation that's going to show you what true love is about, to where you don't even have to be hung on a hope or a prayer, thinking that this is going to change because you feel so much for this, but that other person really ain't giving their all and giving their part. Coming with some Princess in reverse, Princess of Disc in reverse shit. Excuse me. When you got the King of Disc right here, the Malik of Disc. But what's interesting, I want to note, is like, also with this Malik of Disc, like, yes, you're deciding to, I mean, the Malik of Wands, you know, yes, you're taking your passion away from a situation and placing it towards another. But when we look at the traditional definition of what she means in reverse, and we see that this is how your ex is looking at you, y'all are gonna laugh at this shit. So they can't believe you. Like, okay, so for one, from the Five of, like I said, from the Five of Pentacles to the Nine of Wands, they can't fucking believe you. Like, they're like, how are you gone? How are you able to become this person? I see it, I feel it, and damn, it's making me want you more. But like, how are you able to do this? And then you, wait, hey, that's my love. What you doing with that? Hey, that's my couch. They're starting to get all of those feels, you know. That's my love, that's my couch, that was our dog, you know. Unless, you know, I'm not trying to get too vulgar, but you know how it is these days. Like, if it's a dude to a female, like, you know, that's my whatever, insert sexual nature here, you know, because, like, you when you're fucking with someone's ego and it becomes so fragile, like, I've known people to say dumb shit like that, and ain't none of it theirs. We all know that. But it's all yours. But that's the type of energy I'm sensing here, and they can't fucking believe you, because with the Malik of Wands in reverse, it talks about, like, somebody also being just irresponsible and not taking care of their duties and, like, what they need to be doing. And, like, this is also how they come up in the Three of Swords, you know, with their, because we got the Three of Swords twice here on the board. As it pertains to their heartbreak, they feel as though you are being unreasonable, irrational, irresponsible. I mean, just all of that. Like, what in the hell are you doing? What are you doing? We have unfinished business. We have more going on. You just keep hurting me. Oh, yeah, and that's the rich part, right? Because, you know, dude, I definitely see from the cards, like, they have some level of hurt from whatever. Now, I mean, is it self-formulated? I honestly feel like most of it is. I'm not going to say that you're absolved from doing anything, but I do feel like for them it's a lot of self-formulated shit. But, like, it's tickling to me how all of this comes out to be your fault. That you're finally happy, that you're finally moving on, and they don't want to see you do that. I mean, they want you, but they also don't want to see you move forward. It's, you know, especially with someone else. It's not like, you know, they don't want you to move forward, but they still don't want shit to do with you. You know what I mean? Like, they just want to see you down. Like, they want you, but they still want you under their thumb, and they still don't want you to move forward. Like, does that make sense? And now that they see it, like, they're going crazy, thinking you crazy for moving on and finding, like, a relationship that's filled with happiness and wish fulfillment. Like, so if this isn't something that's already happening for you now, where you are actually experiencing this wildness, um, that's what you can expect to come, as we progress through the month, is to start to see this story build here. Um, Literally someone having to accept that it's over. Y'all stay safe, stay prayed up, everything like that. Keep the crazies away, use your sage, all of that. Love and light.